What's going on, everybody? David here, and it is almost the new year. It's New Year's Eve, and we are going to do a live stream today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my cycling, do like a cycling recap, so the whole year, which won't be very much for me because I've only been riding for about 10 weeks, but I'll get on Strava, and I'll kind of just show you the different, how many miles I've gone every week. And then we'll talk a little bit about some of the gear that I picked up in the last few weeks, and just give you kind of my opinion of the different gear that I picked up. And also in the future, I'm going to do some more comprehensive reviews. But if you are in the chat right now, just let me know by saying hello, and we'll get started shortly. Let me just get everything set up here. And we'll start off with Strava. We'll go through some Strava stuff, and then after that, then we'll do some Q&A at the very end, and we'll just talk. If you guys want to talk about some different stuff, I'd love to know how you guys are doing, how you're progressing. If you are new to cycling, then this is a perfect channel for you because I'm new to cycling, so I'm learning, and I have a lot of good people that have subscribed to the channel that have been really giving me some good pointers and tips and stuff like that. So let's start off by going into, let's see if I can get this all going here. Going into the into Strava, and then we'll look at some of this stuff in Strava. And like I said, I just started out riding about 10 weeks ago, so I'm learning a lot, and there's a lot of things that that I don't know yet. And as far as my progress for the year, my numbers, if I was doing it for the whole year, so like from all of 2019, when I do the year in review, it'll have a lot more info because I plan to continue doing what I'm doing now. So now this is not going to be as extensive as it could have been if I would have really stuck to it. And I shouldn't even say stuck to it because I just started. So it wasn't like a deal where I got a bike last year and then I just didn't ride it for this whole time. I got the bike that I'm riding now about 10 weeks ago. So let's go ahead and look at some of the stats here. So, and I'm still, when it comes to Strava, I'm still working on all fine-tuning everything because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know how to find on Strava. So if you guys know Strava really well, please chime in and let me know, hey, you can check here, you can do this, and find different things in different areas. As you can see, my, let's see, this is not the good one. Let's do the travel log. You can see that I pretty much started, let's drop to the bottom here. And we'll go, so this is August. Okay, so this is a time when I wasn't doing anything. I think I had one ride prior to, let's see, wow, we're going way back. So there's 0 rides here, so I wasn't going out at all. And I did have a bike. It was a flat bar bike, and I got it like 4 years ago, and I very rarely ever rode that bike. And so I started getting serious. What I did is, here's one right here, 4.5 miles or 4.3 miles. So I started out with the new bike, and I believe I got it in October. But just prior to that, I got on my old bike, and I rode that a little bit. And I just wanted to make sure I was seriously going to be committed to riding. And so that's where I started here. So in August, 10 miles, and this is for the week. So I pretty much one ride. There's an area in Long Beach, and that's probably where I rode here, where I go and I ride, and you can see my stats. And the bike that I had, the older bike, the flat bar bike, it's 8-speed, and so you can see like my speed, average speed, 9.7 miles. So this is when I just got out and started riding, and yeah, this is in Long Beach. This is Long Beach ride. So I do this really, really frequently. I pretty much start here. There's a parking right here, and then I'll ride all the way down, and then I'll come back, and then there's another little leg right here that I'll go around here and come back. So you can see my stats really not, well, now that I'm looking at them, they're not very impressive, but I mean, getting out there and riding. What I'm learning is just get out and ride, and you'll find your sweet spot, and you'll improve. And my whole thing with the older bike and just not riding for any real period of time, when I started getting out and riding, I wasn't having good experience. I would get out and ride and I'd be all sore and everything. I didn't want to ride anymore. So what I did is I just forced myself. With the older bike, I just forced myself to get out and just ride. My butt's going to hurt. I know it. I can get biker shorts, all that good stuff. And then once I get to a point where I start feeling better, not being so sore, then that's when I can start improving and everything. And that's what happened. I pretty much started. So you saw I started in August, and once I got past the little aches and pains, then I was fine. I was on the road. So basically August 27th, September 2nd, that week I rode 10 miles. And then here, September 3rd through 9th, I rode 11 miles. And I think that was probably the same trail. I usually, for the first, I'd say the first few weeks, I was just going to Long Beach every time and riding that same trail. And I didn't know anything about different trails. So I once I learned, okay, there's Santa Ana Trail and there's another Riverbed Trail. And once I started finding out about these different places, then I started expanding the areas that I ride in. So yeah, this is pretty much the same thing. This time I went into the city a little bit. So this is the downtown area and rode around. And I'm not going to look at the stats. I will do, like, I'm doing an update every week. I do an update. And when I do that update every week, then I'll go over the stats and you can see really my progress when it comes to that. But I just kind of wanted to do like an overall recap of some of my different rides and just how many miles I've gone. So yeah, this one I went into, it was actually me and my friend, we went into downtown Long Beach this time. So we started here, came out all the way around, and then went into the Long Beach downtown area, which is really nice. If you are in the Long Beach area and you're curious about riding, they're very bike friendly, and they have some really good bike lanes. Like they'll have, especially if you're in the city, when you're riding around the city, they'll have like dedicated bike lanes that have where you're separated from the cars. So you'll have, let's say, sidewalk here, bike lane, a little island, and then you'll have an area where people can park their cars, and then the street. So there's plenty of room between you and the cars on the street. And then you also have dedicated bike signals. So when you come to an intersection, you'll come up to the intersection, and you'll have a signal, as well as the cars will have a signal. So you'll see if you can keep going and all that. It's just regular, kind of like a traffic. It is a traffic signal, but for bikes. So they really dedicate a lot of funds into cycling in Long Beach, in the downtown area. Plus on the boardwalk. Boardwalk's nice. The only problem with riding on the boardwalk is there are a lot of people there. So just be prepared for that. And people aren't necessarily paying attention to the bikes. Even though they're in a bike lane, you'll have people walking up and down the bike lane, covering, so pretty much you can't get around them. You have to, alert them to get out of your way, that kind of stuff. So that is very common on the boardwalk. But some of the other areas are really good places to ride. And if you see, let's see, we can zoom in on this map. I can show you more detail. I'm just kind of giving Long Beach some props for doing a really good job on their bike lanes. So what I was talking about here, this is the boardwalk here. So on the boardwalk, yeah, you're going to have people. They're going to be walking all around here. And this is the beach. So there's sand and all that. So you have people walking to the beach. And so they have to cross the bike path to do that. And then if you come around, let's see, what did we do here? We came down here, and then we went up into the area here. There's a big lighthouse that's right here. And so we rode around there, and then we came back around and then went back out to the main street here, and then all the way around, and then came around. So this is all downtown area right here. And I think we just rode up here, just rode up the street. I think up to probably, I don't even know how far. Let's see. You could see how far we went up there, and then we came back around and then took the street all the way back to the car. So it's a nice ride. Long Beach is always is a good place to ride. Um, so that was that day, and at this point, there's one thing I do want to talk about. That is the fact that I was I didn't know how to ride. Like, I didn't know anything about gears. I pretty much just put it in the highest gears, like the hardest gears to pedal, and then just rode. And it was an 8 speed, so I get in the highest gear, and I would just chug away. And so my cadence was really really bad, and I was just going more for speed. I was trying to get my speed up as fast as possible, but I didn't realize that I'm using my muscles, and I can only use my muscles for a period of time, and then your muscles are just gonna uh, they're just gonna give, and you're gonna have to stop pedaling. So I didn't know anything about the cardio aspects of cycling. I didn't know that you get into easier gears and you just spin faster, and you can do that longer than if you get in harder gears and you just chug away with trying to push your muscles through. So I didn't know all that information. I didn't have a cadence sensor at that time, so I didn't even really know anything about cadence or anything like that. I just went with no information, just got on the bike and started riding. I said, okay, well, I think I can ride faster if I just put it in a high gear and then just push as hard as I possibly can. So that's pretty much what I was doing for the first month. And at some point, we'll go back. At some point, I did get a cadence sensor. And then once I got that, then I started seeing, okay, this is what my cadence is, and maybe I should work on that a little bit more. So September 10th through 16th, this is when I started doing a little bit more. So I did 2 rides this week, and usually I ride on the weekend. How you doing, Mike? Mike from Michigan. Yeah, if you guys are on here, just let me know where you're coming from. I'd love to know. So September 10th through 16th, I did 2 rides. And I did a ride on, what day is that? I can't even see the day here. Saturday. So on Saturday I did a ride, and then on the 18th I also did a ride. So, or the 18th, on the 15th. This is the same day. Okay, we got to figure this out. I think what I did is I messed up on one of these where I doubled the miles. I might have done that. So it wasn't actually 2 rides, and I could have done that, yeah. So I did a riverbed. This is the first riverbed ride that I did, and I did it from, there's a park out in the Cerritos area, Cerritos, California, and I rode all the way out to the beach, to Seal Beach here. And I think I didn't realize at the time, so this is a double the time, or double the miles. It shouldn't have been this much. So this is a good ride as well. I just don't like the riverbed. It's okay, but for me it's a little dangerous. How you doing, James? It's a little dangerous. It's dangerous because I didn't really know. Like, you get on a riverbed, some riverbeds are a little safer than others. If you go on the Santa Ana Trail, the riverbeds are relatively safe, where you can't really, let's say if you have an accident or you lose control, you can't really go off into the riverbed. A lot of it's fenced off. And then there's some areas where you're on a riverbed, but you're far away from the actual where the riverbed goes down. So on this trail here, it's not like that. There are a lot of areas where you're just right on the riverbed, and if a slight little mishap, and you can go right off into the riverbed. And there's some areas where there's rocks and stuff like that. So yeah, it gets to that point where it's a little sketchy, but it's still a good ride, and it's perfect if you want to go from this area here in like Cerritos, California. Even you can go up further up and come down and just take that riverbed all the way down to Seal Beach. And once you get to Seal Beach, it's really nice. Just hang out. So usually what I do is go to Seal Beach and then just hang out for a little bit, and then turn around and then go back. And that's go back to that park, get in my car, and then drive home. So that's always a nice ride. And like I said, that is misleading. That 36 miles that we did, that was misleading only because I don't know for whatever reason, but I doubled it up. I think I had an app think I had Strava and the app going at the same time. And then when I was using, I believe at the time I started using the Wahoo app, and then they just doubled it up. So it uploaded, Wahoo uploaded a ride, and then I also had a ride on. So actually, one good thing to look at is, let's see, does it have my cadence on here yet? Yeah, I don't really see where my cadence would be. But I just wanted you guys to see where my cadence was at that time. I don't see it on here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's my cadence. My cadence was at 53. That was my cadence at that time. And like I said, I was putting it in the highest gear possible and just chugging along as fast as I could go and just chug along. And I remember, like, there'd be times where I'm riding and I get to that point where I get to a point where I'm riding and then people are passing me up and I'm just beat down, like muscles hurting, and I'm thinking, how are these people just passing me up so easily? And I didn't realize at the time you need to drop those gears down and spin faster. You'll do less damage on or not really damage, but your muscles will have to work less, and you'll be able to keep up with people over the long haul. And so I didn't realize that, and it was frustrating. And that right there kind of got me to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to continue doing this because it seems like I'm putting all this effort in, and I'm not even going. I mean, people are just passing me like nothing. So part of it was the bike. I had an 8-speed bike as opposed to I have 11-speed now, and I can go a little faster on the bike that I have now. But the other part was just not knowing the gears and just pushing and pushing. And then when you come to these hills, like they have little hills, just kind of little hills, just go down and up, down and up. I was getting to some of those hills. I'd go down and then I wouldn't drop my gears down. Even in this situation, you don't have to drop them down that much because you're coming down and going right back up. But even still, once I get to the top of that hill, I'm in a high gear and it's hard for me to pedal, and I'm just trying to push, and it just wasn't working. So just crazy. Let's see, James, when did you last ride the SR? Okay, so last time I rode it was, I believe it was maybe Wednesday. Was it Wednesday of last week? I went on a trip. I went to Vegas. I just got back yesterday, so I haven't been riding for this weekend. I didn't ride, and I do like riding. That's Santa Ana River Trail is what he's talking about. I love riding that riverbed trail, so I'll be going back. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I get out there tomorrow. I'm riding tomorrow. I just don't know where yet, so we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, it's a real good trail. So my cadence 53, high is 98, and then you see my speed here is like really slow, 10 miles an hour, and then the max was 21. So let's bounce out of here, and then we'll go up. I just want to move up a little faster, and then we'll do some Q&A. So if you guys have questions, comments, tips, just want to say hello, please post in the chat. And let's see here, September 17th through 23rd, you see I had 2 rides. I did an 8.6 mile ride, and that's like my normal trail in Long Beach on the boardwalk. And then I did a 9 mile, and that's another boardwalk trail. So you see all that information there, 10 miles an hour. And I don't look at this power. I don't have a power meter, so this is it's probably not that accurate. Okay, September 24th through 30th, I did 8.4 miles, and that was at the Long Beach Trail again. And you see that distance. Look at the average speed. Horrible. And yeah, it's just one of those days. Like, you get out and you ride and you're like 8 miles an hour or what. But you have to understand, too, that one thing about riding on the boardwalk, riding on the beach, is it's almost always windy. And so you'll have times, and there's certain situations where I'm riding and I'm thinking, oh, the wind's at my face, and it's just like, oh, this is horrible. But I'm just relieved because I know coming back I'll be fine. But it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you'll ride up, you'll get to your point, and then you'll turn around, and I'll take a break, then I'll turn around and I'll start coming back, and the wind has shifted on you. And so it might not be right in your face, but it's like angled at you, crosswind, and you're still getting something. So you're still being pushed back. So All right, so let's just move along. Okay, so September 1st through, let's see, how are we going here? I don't know why that's that way. September 1st through 7th, September 24th. Okay, so I'm not understanding why that's like that. It doesn't make sense. Unless it's doing it by distance, maybe? No. I don't know how it's doing this. Okay, but anyways, September 1st through 7th, I did see I've improved pretty drastically. So you have 41 miles for that week. So that was a pretty good week. And then October 8th through 14th, I had 8 miles. And this might have been, okay, see the average speed. And I can see just by the average speed, I can see that I was still on my old bike. Because when I got the new bike, I immediately jumped up a couple of miles. It was like 13 miles, 12 miles on average. So October 15th, let's see here. October 15th, 13 miles an hour. Let's see, what was that again? Yeah, 10 miles. Okay, so this is when I got my new bike here, October 15th. So I got my new bike there, and that was 13 mile an hour average. And at this point, I had all my stuff on here, so we can take a look at the a little more info here, just to kind of show you the difference as far as my cadence and everything. And my cadence was still, and you have to understand, I still didn't know anything about gears, so I was still riding, like trying to ride higher gears and just push. And so my cadence improved a little bit. It was at 62, and that was an average, and then 128 was the max. So, and it was just a 10-mile ride. But you can see just getting another bike with the same fitness, because at this point I wasn't really riding a lot to get fit at that time. I just having a new bike, I improved on my speed and everything. Okay, so let's back out, and then we'll move forward a little bit more, and then so let's see. So 44 miles there, that's with the new bike, and then 72 miles here. So I jumped out, got a 40-mile ride. That was the first time I've ever done 40 miles. So that was good. That was a real good experience. And then I did it the day prior to that. Let's see, it was the day prior. Yeah, the day prior to that, I did 21 miles. So on this ride, I was trying to get a badge. There was a badge you needed to ride 150 kilometers in order to get this badge, and so that's what I did on that one. So that was good. And then October 29th, I had, this was split. Okay, so yeah, this was like 8 miles, 8.6 or 8.4 miles. I split it up. I don't know why I did that. And then I had 9 miles for that portion, and then 19 miles at the very end there. So 37 miles on the week. And then we did 17 miles on this week. And this was riding to the polls. So this was an election day. We rode to the polls, and that's why it was like a little more than half a mile. I got a badge for that. So they told you, hey, just ride to the polls. So I just rode down to my local polling place. And there we have 8.6 miles. And then on November, let's see, 12 miles. And then on November 19th through 25th is 56 miles. So you can see I'm starting to increase as far as my rides. And then 63 miles here. And that was a pretty good ride. I enjoyed that one. That was, well, I won't say I enjoyed it, but that made me feel good to get my first 50-mile ride in. So that was good. And then we did 13 miles after that. Now at this point, I got sick and I wasn't feeling well, so I only did one ride. On the weekend, I only did one ride. So and I just put out a video about that. Just actually posted it earlier today. So you guys should check that out. It's week 8. All right, and then we'll go into a few of the rides that I've done since. And you can see with my videos, I'm a little behind, so I will be catching up to some of these. So 29 miles here, December 3rd through 9th, 29 miles. I rode once on Saturday and then on Sunday. So 10 miles on Saturday, 19 miles on Sunday. And then we have December 10th, that's 14 miles, and then 20 miles. And let me just show you, we'll go here. So December 17th through the 23rd, I rode 12 miles here, and then I rode 20 miles here. And just to show you improvement that I've made since I first started. We'll just look at some of the stats now. So, and I got a heart rate monitor too, which I didn't have prior to. I think I got that heart rate monitor. I've had it for about a month and a half. So some of my earlier rides didn't show anything like that. Now, the cadence here, 76. I'm trying to get my cadence up to 80. That's my ultimate. I want to at least be at 80, and then once I get 80, then start increasing. Getting it up to around 85. I'd like to have my cadence at that speed. And so my average speed was 15.5 miles an hour, and then max was 29.8. And then you see my calorie burn and all that, and then you see my heart rate here. So I have my heart rate on there now. So that was a pretty good ride. I enjoyed that one. That was okay. So this is Santa Ana Trail, and I just went halfway. I didn't go all the way out to the beach on that day. So that's that. And then the last one, or we'll just look at the last two real quick. And let's see, last two are actually okay. So I haven't done anything this week. Obviously, we just started out. I will ride tomorrow for sure. I did not ride today. And actually, today would have been technically. What is today? Sunday? No, today's Monday, right? So today's the first day of the week, and so I'll ride tomorrow. That'll be my first ride. So 30 miles, and that was December 24th through 30th, and they're all around the same as far as the distance. So about 10 miles. I did have my first, I believe it was this one here, my first actual point where I got my cadence up there. Let's see, up to 80, I believe. Let's see if I can pull this up here. All right, so yeah, let's see. Okay, so yeah, this is the first time I got my cadence to 80. So I've gotten it to 80, and I want my ultimate goal is to get it up to around 85. But 80 is, that's fine. I'm fine with 80 for right now. And you can see my average speed is picked up a little bit, 16.1, and then max is 22.4. And this was on the boardwalk. Now I did this ride early in the morning, and that's one of the keys if you want to have some. If you want to get a good performance, go early in the morning if you're going to do Long Beach on the boardwalk, because there's a lot of people out in the afternoon. So if I'm riding in the afternoon, I'm constantly slowing down and waiting for people or going around. They have like these big 4-seater bikes, going around those bikes and all that. So if you go early in the morning, there's nobody out there, and you can just, it's open. It's an open road the whole way. So that's pretty good. All right. So that's it. I just wanted to kind of go over that. And now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the gear that I picked up that I really like. And I have links to all of the gear that I'm going to show you guys. I have links in the description. I'm just going to show you them online because I want to do like a comprehensive review of them, but I just thought I might mention them just because I've tried them and I think they're pretty good. If you guys have, like you guys watching the chat right now, if you guys have some gear that you use that you think is really really good, then post it in the chat and we can talk about it. So after I look at these, and we'll talk about some of the gear that you guys use. But for me, there are a few things that I want to have with me at all times, and one is a power bank. So this Nog Power headlight is perfect because what it does is it is a headlight. So you just put it on like a regular headlight on your bike. But it has this little compartment, this little area right here where you can take the actual bulb off, and I usually take it off and I just put it in my little little bag on the back of my seat, and then you can use it as a power bank. And so that's what I do because I always record my ride, so I'll always be recording my ride. So I'll have video recording of my rides, and I use it for some of the videos that I put out. But I also just like having it. It's kind of weird, but I like just recording it because there are situations where now the way I record it, I can see the bike computer as well as the handlebars and all that. So I'm riding, and then I can kind of see where I did well and where I struggled a little bit just by looking at the bike computer. although I'm looking at it when I'm riding, I'm not staring at it the whole time. So this gives me an opportunity to kind of review and see how I'm improving or what I'm struggling with when it comes to riding in different areas. I mean, you can look on Strava, but nothing's better than looking at it real time when you're riding. You can see that information, see how fast you're going, see how your heart rate is doing. You can even see with some of the bike computers, you can see the elevation and all that good stuff. All right, so yes, this is one thing that I picked up, and I actually only have the 600 lumens that's the one that I have, but it's great. And I take it out. I usually just have it as the power bank, so I don't have the bulb on there unless I'm actually riding at night. Then I can put it on there and use it for riding at night. But for the most part, I'm very happy with it. This whole piece right here comes off. So this whole piece right here comes off, and this stays on your bike. So you can take this off when you want to charge it. You can take it off and just use it as a power bank for any other purpose. You don't have to use it on your bike. And as well as you can put the light on there and just use it as a flashlight. This works really well as far as lighting up your area at night. There's some times where I've been out, and I generally don't ride at night, but I might do a ride, and then at the very end, it's nighttime, so I turn the light on. And this works really well as like when it has the flash, you can see that flash. It's a nice, powerful flash. So, like I said, I will do a comprehensive review on this, and when I do the review, then I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about as far as how the flash really works, and then how the light, how much area it lights up. I had an old light before, and that light wasn't good at all, and it was pretty much. I mean, there was a situation, and I talked about this before, where I'm riding on a bike trail, and I'm not on the street. I'm actually on another bike trail, riding through a park, and I went off the curb because I didn't see, the end of the bike trail, and I didn't see that there was a curb right in front of me. So, and that was riding at night. So, yeah, it does happen. All right, so let's see some of the other stuff I picked up. This bottle. Okay, so I've been advised that I should get one of the insulated ones. I haven't gotten one yet, but these Camelback bottles are really good because they have like this valve at the top, and so you have the water in there, and they have the valve, and you just kind of squeeze it, and it shoots the water in your mouth, so you don't have to like do too much to get the water out. And so I really like these. So I highly recommend these. But like I said, there's some other brands too as well that you can look into. But this Camelback, it's been good. I like that one. Another thing here is, okay, let's see here. What's the last thing? Okay, yeah. So the Element Bolt. So this is really good. This is the bike computer that I have, and this is what I use primarily. This is the only bike computer I've ever had, but this thing is excellent. And the reason that I like it so much is you don't have to set up anything anymore. Like one of the things that I really hated about even Strava, like your apps, like Strava app or any of the other apps, is you have to set them up on your phone, and you have to make sure your GPS is on, make sure this is on, and then it just took too much time. I didn't like that. What I like to do is just get out and ride. And this is perfect because it's on your bike already. You get up, you take your bike out, you start riding. Once I get to about 5-6 miles an hour, it's going to alert me and let me know, hey, do you want to start a ride? And at that point, then I can just go ahead and click start and then go. I don't have to worry about syncing anything up to my phone or anything like that. Once I'm done with my ride, I can turn my phone on, and it will sync up automatically, and then it will send it out to Strava, and then it will record it so I can see it on the Wahoo Element app. So I love it. It is perfect, and the readout on this is really nice because you see the big letters here, and understand this Element Bolt. This thing is really small, but the numbers, the readout is big. It's big enough, and you can adjust it by making it larger or smaller. So let's say I want to have, like in this situation here, they have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 things on the screen. So you can have 4 things on the screen if you want. You can have just one thing. I can just have the miles per hour on the screen if I want, or I can just have my heart rate on the screen if I want. So it has a lot of good features. Like I said, I will do a comprehensive review on this in the future because it's that good. It also has turn by turn, although you have to use your phone in order to download that information, and then you can do the turn by turn. I don't really see a real need to use turn by turn. I'm good with just having a map, and it does just have a map on there if you want to look at the map to kind of find out where you're going. But turn by turn is not a big thing for me. I don't really see the necessity in it. And usually I've already planned out my route, so I know where I'm going. So it's very rarely will I be in a situation where I'm lost and I don't know how to get back. So that turn by turn, I haven't used it yet, but I can't really see that much of a need for it. Okay, so last thing here is, and this is just simple, a simple mount for a camera. So like I told you guys, I use a camera all the time, and I like to mount my camera to my my handle, or not my handlebars, actually the stem on my bike. And this is what I use. And this I've gone through a few different mounts. I'd say probably, I think 4 or 5 different mounts. And this is the one that I like the best. And the main reason I like it the best is because it has kind of this zip tie thing here where you just put it on. It's rubber right down here. I can put it on, tighten it up as tight as I want, and then my camera, I have a little Sony action camera. It just sits on top there, and it's quiet. The problem that I was having with some of the other mounts is they're noisier. They have like something in there that's moving, and it makes a little sounds. And so when you hit a bump, you'll hear like a rattling sound and stuff like that. So this is the best one that I found so far as it doesn't have any rattling or anything like that. And it's very, very tight. And what I do on my stem, is I just put a wrap duct tape, not a bunch, but just one wrap of duct tape on my actual stem. And then I put this over the top. And then initially what I was doing is I would put like double-sided tape, like the double-sided tape that has a little padding in between. I'd put that at the top. So I put the duct tape underneath, the little wrap over the top, little double-sided tape, and then I'd put this over that and tighten it really tight. And that seemed to work so it wouldn't move around or anything like that. But after time, I realized I didn't even need the double-sided tape. It's firm enough so it's not going to move because there's rubber on here, so it's really not going to move at all. So those are just some of the things I wanted to go over, some of the things that I picked up in the year, and some of the things I really think are worth considering. If you want to get a camera, you want to put an action camera on your bike, then check out this tripod mount. If you're in the market for a bike computer, then I would definitely consider getting a Wahoo Element Bolt. It's really nice. It's the perfect complement when it comes to bike computer. I know Garmin's are out there, but I've heard some really good things about Bolt, and I got it, and I'm very satisfied. And let's see, what are the other things we talked about? Plus, I have I have the cadence sensor, which is Wahoo, and then I also have the heart rate monitor, which is Wahoo. So all good things to consider. Now let's look at some of the stuff on the chat here. All right. If you guys have questions, put them out there so we can talk about it. I know there's only a few people on here. I do realize it is the new year, so I'm not going to be on here much longer. I just wanted to come on. Every Monday I will be doing a live stream. So hopefully in the future we can get more people on here so we can really talk about different stuff, talk about what's going on in cycling, also talk about motivating each other and things like that, and helping each other out. And trust me, I need a lot of help when it comes to cycling. Just like today, I wasn't motivated. Like, I got up and, I was in Vegas, so I got back, and so I didn't sleep very well. Well, I didn't sleep very well in Vegas at all, but then when I got back, I still was tired. And so I slept in this morning. Actually woke up early, but I was still tired. And then all I could think about was like just the cold. And so then I just went back to sleep. And then I woke up later on in the morning, and I just had no motivation to get out and ride. So that's another thing that I'm not struggling with that at this point, but it is something that I could. I mean, you're going to go through the times where you're going to feel good, and then you're not going to feel good, and you're going to feel good, and you're not going to feel good as far as riding. And you just have to motivate yourself. One of the things that really motivates me is going on Strava, because Strava has there's a lot of people on there, and I'm following people now. And that's another thing too. If you follow me on Strava, I have a link in the description, then I'll follow you back. But there's been a lot of it motivates me because I see my friends riding, and I see other people riding, and then I want to get out there and ride because they're riding. So it's almost like a Facebook in a sense, where this is for a good thing though. Facebook to me is, you have a lot of people that will get on there and post pictures and all that. I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm in Vegas, I'm here, I'm there. And then everybody else wants to, oh, well, my life is boring. I want to do this, I want to do that. And so it's kind of like some people make it a competition where they're posting pictures to show that they're traveling here, they're traveling there, and all this good stuff. So Strava is similar, where you're posting your rides. So you're kind of showing off, I guess. But it's good motivation, and it helps you, it motivates you to work out more. So, all right. Let's see, Mr. Mo, most of the gear right now is, let's see, most of my gear right now is cold weather gear. Not good for your rides, but do I love my water bottles? They are cageless. So they're cageless. What are these water bottles? Let's see, put a link here. Cageless water bottles. Oh, that's pretty cool. So they go on. How do they work? Because there's only one picture. You just put them on the. Oh, you just screw those little rivet things in, and then you just put it on there. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's something I'd never seen before. The only thing is, I don't like that little spout, unless it's like unless it's like the spout that I have on that valve. I like that valve where you just squeeze a little bit and it just pushes water into your mouth. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I haven't seen those before. Now, are those little rivets, are those like plastic, or are they metal? Yes, they're all. That is your bike. They work great. Okay, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen those before. I'm actually gonna get one now just to just to test it out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I guess it would be lighter because you don't have to have although those racks aren't that heavy. It's still, let's see, it pops up. Yeah, it's plastic. Okay. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will try that out and see how that is. I didn't even know those were even out, like available. That's pretty neat. Yeah, now I see some other ones down here. Cool. Cool. Yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit. If you guys don't have any questions, or you guys don't have any other stuff to put out there, then we'll call it in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so that's the plan. The main plan is going to be the next. I'll be putting out a video in hopefully by next weekend, and that will be for week 9, just kind of an update. And I want to start putting more into my videos, because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like them. I'm not happy with what I'm doing, but I shouldn't say I'm not happy with how it's coming out. Like, I want to put more into the videos, and I just kind of just go out and ride. It's too predictable. I go out, I ride, I talk a little bit about the ride, and now I've added the whole Strava thing, which I think is good. So I'll start adding more of the Strava where I kind of show you the details. But I just want to make it a little more interesting, because right now I think it's just I have to find my sweet spot on how to make these videos. They're a little, when you do like an update video, it's a little hard to do. Even these streams, they're hard to do because it's like impromptu. You're on there, you're talking, and it's live, and you make mistakes, and you have these points where you're not saying anything, or these silent points where it's just awkward. And so I'm getting everything fine tuned and all that. So once we get it all fine tuned, then I'll be on the way. But yeah, it does. There's some struggles that you have when you do stuff like this. And so all I'm going to do right now is I'm just asking you guys, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, because that will help move it up in the algorithm. And ultimately what I want, my ideal situation would be to have people on here who are just starting out cycling, as well as people on here who've been cycling for years and years, and have the people that have been cycling for years and years put in their input, tips and pointers and all that good stuff to help out people like me who are just starting out. And so that's the ultimate goal. That's what I want to get out of the channel. And so in order to do that, I have to have the community here. And so the more people that are in here, the more people that see this video, if you like it, then more people will actually see the video. If you subscribe to the channel, if you share it with other people, if you know people who are just starting out cycling, share it with them, because then they can see, okay, yeah, I'm not alone, when it comes to riding, and the same struggles. Like, I get on a bike and my butt is sore. Is it because it's just me? Am I too heavy to be on this bike? Or like, what is the deal? Can I ride a carbon fiber bike if I'm overweight? Can I do this? Can I do that? Like, a lot of these things, I've gone through some of them already, just starting out. So we could help each other out. And that's the ultimate thing here. All right, so Mr. Mo, a few videos ago, you were talking about buying a jersey that didn't fit yet. You know that Walmart sells dry fit shirts for $6. They're great until you fit your jerseys. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, I bought a jersey. It doesn't fit. And I bought a few jerseys, actually. I bought 2 jerseys, and then I have 2 vests. And the vests fit. Obviously, they're vests, and they're okay. But the jerseys, they fit me, but they're very, very tight. So it's one of those deals. It's more motivation for me to lose more weight. That way, I can fit into these jerseys. So I'm not gonna send them back. I will keep them. But I'll look at the dry fit shirts and see if those will work. Right now, it's so cold that, I'm in Southern California, but it's still cold. When I get out, like this morning, I was just thinking about, I was dreading getting out and riding because it was going to be cold. And so once it does warm up a little bit more, I think the dry fit shirts would really work out. But right now, like I have a jacket that's it's like a transformer jacket, so you can take off the sleeves. So I wore the sleeves the last time I went out and rode, and I felt good, actually. It felt really good. But I don't have like long bike shorts. I just have the short one, so that's what I wore. But I was pretty comfortable. Just my hands got really cold. But other than that, I was pretty comfortable. And then once I got going, and once I started to heat up, after riding, then I was fine. But I started to warm up, I guess you should say. Okay, use a dry fit under the vest, no issues. Okay, yeah, I'll try that. I will try that. Let's see. Yeah, so, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable, too. I'll have to look into that one. So he showed me a vest here. Let me flip this over so you guys can see it. So this Wolf Bike vest, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll have to check this one out. I hadn't seen this one before. And the vest that I have, like I said, you can take the sleeves off. So this one, you can't take the sleeves off, but it does look pretty comfortable. I'll have to check that one out. All right, so I am gonna go, and I just wanted to wish you guys all a happy new year and 2019. will be a great year. I know it's going to be a great year for me because I'm going to get on it and start writing. And I can start the year now. Start the year off fresh, writing for the whole year. So at the end of 2019, I'll put out another video and we can go through all the stats, and hopefully we'll have some really good progression. And that's all I want at this point. My whole goal right now is to get fit and feel better when I'm writing, and continue and stick with it. And it's one of these deals. Writing is, for me, I actually enjoy it. Whereas I can't think of another form of exercise, with the exception to playing football when I was in college, where I actually enjoyed it, and I didn't even think about it as working out. It was just more of, I'm out and I'm having a good time. I can't think of anything else that I've done where I've enjoyed it like I do right now. So that's good, and I'm just going to continue to do that. And so next year, we're going to be sitting in the same place, and we're going to be talking. Hopefully, I'll be a little slimmer, and everything else will be dialed in, and I'll be fit and ready to go into 2020. So we'll just do it that way. So I appreciate everybody coming on. Mr. Mo, thank you for stopping by. James was also here stopping by. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And if you guys like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.